Good morning and welcome to class 12th video sessions. Here we have this topic going on called determinants, and I'm sure you're doing your work in your notebooks and following all the lectures that are being delivered to you. This one is for determinants, and as you know we are doing properties of determinants, so I will just start with that only. First property is if you change the rows, if you interchange the rows and columns, if you interchange the rows and column, okay, that is you make the rows as columns and columns as rows, okay, then the value of the determinant does not change. That is the first property. Okay, fine. For example, this is the determinant 1 2 0 0 1 2 2 1 0, something like this. Okay, so if you this is a matrix, so in determinants we write this symbol. Okay, it's like modulus. So if I take the transpose of this, so 1 2 0 will come here, 1 2 0, then 2 1 1, this 0 1 2 will come here, and 2 1 0 will come here. Okay? So the both the determinants should have the same value. You can check. Let's expand it along this way. 1, okay, 1. What is the row and column? 0 minus 2 minus 2, and along minus 2, 0 minus 4. Okay, no need to expand from 0. So we get minus 2 plus 8, that is 6. Let's check it here. Delta is equal to this is 1, and 0 minus 2 is minus 2, 0 no need to expand, plus 2, this one 4 minus 0. Let's see what is the answer. Minus 2 plus 8, that is 6. As you can see, the value of the determinant is the same. So that means if you interchange the rows and columns, the determinant does not change its value. Okay. The second one is if two rows or column are identical, then the value of determinant is 0. That you have already seen. If two rows or columns, if two rows or columns are identical, okay, are identical, then the value of determinant does not change. So suppose we have delta 1 to 1 and here also 1 to 1. Whatever is here 3 by 7, this is 0. Similarly, if you have delta 1 2 3 and here also 1 2 3, two rows are same. Whatever is here 3 by 7, this is also 0, because here these two rows are same and here these two columns are same. So these are two properties. Again, if you multiply any row, we can take or multiply by any row. For example, suppose you have 2 4 8 1 2 3 5 7 8. Okay, this is the third property. You can take any number common from a single row or single column. For example, here what is common? 2. So we can take 2 common. So this will get 2. You can write 2 common. 1 2 4 1 2 3 5 7 8. So this way we can simplify, or we can just multiply sometimes. Suppose this row I want to multiply by 2, so I will have to divide by 2 and then I can multiply this by 2. 2 into 1 2, 2 to the 4 and 3 to the 6. This also I can do. So these are the two transformations, that is you can multiply any number by a single row or single column, but that you have to keep either you can take it common outside, or if you are multiplying then you have to divide by the same number. In matrix, every number is multiplied by that number, but in determinant, only one row or one column is enough. So this is a very important property. Based on this is the next property, which says even if two rows are proportional, then the value of determinant is 0. If two rows or columns, okay, are proportional, then also the value of determinant is 0. So for example, you have 1 2 1 and here you have 2 4 2 and 5 7 8, something like this. So now see, this you can take 2 common, so this will become 1 2 1, 2 common from this row or column, 1 2 1 5 7 8. Now you can see that two columns are same. So if two columns are same, what will happen? This determinant is 2 multiplied by 0, that is 0. So this property says even if two rows or column are proportional, then the value of delta is 0. Next one is you can add, you can do some certain operation. This is very important. You can do certain operations in the this determinant. What are those? Suppose this is 1 2 0, this is 2 1 0, this is 3 2 1. You can do such operation like C1. This is column 1, C1 tends to C1 plus C2, something like this, or C1 minus C2. You cannot do any operation to C1, but you can add C1 plus C2, C1 minus C2, or you can do C1 plus 2 C2. You can even include the third column, C2 plus C3. You can make it plus C3, you can make it 3C3. So you can multiply any rows or column and you can add to the columns. This is known as column operation. So what you have to do, C1 should remain same, no number should be multiplied here, but you can multiply second column by any number and then add, third column by any number and add. So, or you can subtract also. So we normally write it like this. We can write C1 as C1 plus lambda times C2 plus gamma times C3. This operation can be done. Okay, lambda and gamma are any real numbers. Lambda and gamma are any real number, that you have to understand. Okay, and if it is complex determinant, then you can use lambda and gamma are any complex number. So this is column transformation. Similarly, you can do a row transformation like R1 is equal to R1. Remember, this will not change, this will remain R1. We can do lambda times R2 plus gamma times R3. This is allowed. This is called row transformation and column transformation. This is the most important one in determinant. Maximum use of this is done. Okay, suppose we have a determinant here. This is from your exercise 4.2. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So if you have this determinant, you have to find this value using properties. Can you simplify this? Otherwise it's a very lengthy one. Expand along 13, multiply this like that. That one is called Saris diagram. When you are multiplying like this is known as Saris diagram. But we are not doing the Saris diagram, we are trying to see some property. So maybe we can use column 1 is equal to column 1 plus column 2 plus column 3. This will not help. So you can think on your own what to do. Look at this, this is row 2. So if I do like this, row 2, okay, I do row 2, and if I add row 1 and row 3, I get 28, and if I divide 28 by 2, I get 14. So what I am doing is row 2 minus half row 1 plus row 3. Look at this operation. What I have done, row 2 is equal to row 2 minus half R1 plus R3. So this is a very simple one, that will give us 0 0 0 here. As you can see, just check for this. Row 2 is 14 minus half 13 plus 15. Now 13 plus 15 is 28. 28 minus half is 14, divided by half is 14. 14 minus 14 is 0. So this will become delta is equal to 13, 16, 19, 0, 0, 0, 15, 18, 21. Even one row is 0 or one column is 0, the determinant will be 0. So using this simple transformation, we have completed this delta, right? So this property is maximum used. This is called row transformation or column transformation. Another one is you can split a determinant into 2 or 3 parts. Two parts like this. See, suppose you have a determinant like this: x plus y 1 2 3, z plus y, and say b plus y 5 7 8. Now this is the first column. First column has some sum, so you can make it as two determinants. One determinant will have x z b 1 2 3 5 7 8 plus. The other determinant will have y 1 2 3 5 7 8. Now this becomes very simple to solve. because we can take y common and this will become 1 1 1. So the second, so I can now name this as delta 1 plus delta 2. So let us solve delta 2 here. So delta 2 is given what? Delta 2 is, we are getting y 1 2 3 5 7 8. So I am just solving delta 2 here. In delta 2, from column 1 I can take y. So y common, I get 1 1 1 1 2 3 5 7 8. Now in order to simplify, we want to get 0 here and 0 here, so that we get 2 zeros, then easy to expand along 1. This is row 2, so I can write row 2 as row 2 minus row 1. R2 is equal to R2 minus R1, and R3 also R3 minus R1. Same time we can do two operations if the same row or same column is subtracted. So I am doing R2, okay, R2 is equal to R2 minus R1. Similarly, R3 is equal to R3 minus R1. So I am doing this operation. Let's see what will become delta 2. Delta 2 will become y, okay, and this is our R2. So 1 minus 1 0. This one. First row will remain as it is because we are doing R2. R2 minus R1. 1 minus 1 0. 2 minus 1 1. 7 minus 5 2. 1 minus 1 0, 3 minus 1 2, and 8 minus 5 is 3. Now just expand it along the first row, along this thing y. 1, no need to expand for these two. First column, along first column we are expanding, because I have told you we can expand it along any column or any row. So we are getting 1 here, and if I multiply 3 minus 4, so we get 3y, and this is minus 1, so we get minus y. So the value of this determinant is minus of y. Similarly, you can solve the other one and then you can add the two. So I hope you will revise this much topic, and then we will continue with some more properties, like how you take common and other properties which will be used in expanding the determinants using just the properties. Okay. So revise these properties and try exercise 4.2 question number 1 to 10, that I will give you as assignment to do. Okay. So see you in the next class.